Right now, watching this video, there's a part of you that wants to close it. There's a part of you that wants to watch something else that's more fast-paced. That urge is what this video is about. I've wasted, and I mean wasted, over 5 years of my life to this exact feeling. Picking up my phone mid-conversation, losing an hour to something I can't even remember, watching myself do it, hating myself for a moment, and then doing it again 3 minutes later. At some point, I stopped pretending it was a focus problem or a discipline problem, because I knew what to do. I always knew what to do. That was never the issue. So why do we keep giving in when we already know better? I'm not going to give you a 5-step system or a productivity hack. What I'm going to do is tell you what's actually happening. The real reason you reach for your phone every time you're bored or uncomfortable. And by the end of this, something will either click or it won't. If it does click, you won't need a system. You'll just stop. I can say this without it sounding like another motivational video because I'm not trying to teach you anything you don't already know. I'm just going to say what we already know deep inside but are too afraid to face it out loud. Nobody tells you the obvious thing about phone addiction. It actually has nothing to do with your phone. Your phone is just the easiest exit available. The second you feel even the smallest discomfort, boredom, uncertainty, the start of a thought you don't want to finish, your brain starts looking for a way out. And your phone is always right there, always ready, always got something new. Social media companies have spent billions of dollars and hired some of the smartest psychologists alive to make that exit feel good and make staying in the real moment feel impossible. Your feed is not random. The scroll has no end. There's no finish line, because a finish line means you might put it down and they would lose money. Every time you pick it up, you're not looking for content. You're running from a feeling. And your brain has learned through thousands of repetitions that the phone makes the feeling go away temporarily. Then the feeling comes back, so you pick it up again. You've been trained by some of the most sophisticated attention capturing systems ever built. And you're supposed to beat that with willpower? Yeah, right. Think about what a parasite actually does. It has no place of its own. It survives by moving into somewhere that already exists. A host that built something real, something functional, and quietly taking away from it. Not all at once, just enough so you don't notice. Attention, energy, time, the not so obvious stuff you don't notice going missing until it's gone. Your phone is a perfect parasite. It doesn't have a life, it has yours. It shows up in your bedroom, at your dinner table, in the middle of a conversation you were actually enjoying. It doesn't knock, it doesn't ask, it just vibrates. And you hand it everything without thinking twice. Your focus, your mood, your sense of what the day meant, in exchange for nothing that lasts longer than the last 3 Instagram reels you don't even remember. And the worst part of a parasite is that the host usually doesn't feel it happening. You just feel unexplainably drained and empty, like something's off but you can't name it. That's the whole point. If you felt it clearly, you'd do something about it. No wonder it feels impossible. But what actually hurts more than the scrolling itself? The knowing. That's what genuinely eats people alive. Not ignorance, but knowing. You've watched the videos, you've read the articles, maybe even had a stretch where you put the phone down and felt genuinely good. Then it sneaked its way back. Living in that gap is miserable, because in that gap you start building a case against yourself. Collecting evidence. I know what I should do, I just don't do it. So what does that make me? After enough of those cycles, no, fail, you start to quietly wonder if maybe this is just who you are. You don't say it out loud, but it's there. It sits underneath everything. That thought is a lie, but it's a very convincing one, and it feeds on the gap. Something happened yesterday that I can't really shake away. My girlfriend was talking to me. I don't remember what about. I was on my phone, not even watching anything, just watching Instagram reels. She stopped mid-sentence. I looked up, realizing she was talking to me, so I started paying attention and asked her to repeat it. She did, she always does. But I caught the half second before she said it again. That look. Not anger, not even real frustration, just quiet disappointment. The worst part is that it wasn't a one-off thing. That's been happening basically every day for the last 6 months. 6 months of sitting in the same room as someone I love, not actually being there. Because that's what goes when you scroll. Not time in some philosophical sense, not productivity, the actual moments, the conversation, the eye contact, the evening where nothing much happened but you were actually in it. Those don't come back. And I'm not saying that to make you feel guilty. Guilt, I figured out, is one of the most useless feelings you can have. It doesn't change anything. It just makes you feel bad until you reach for your phone to feel better. so it makes no sense. Here's the thing that actually changed something for me. Guilt and pride are the exact opposites, and I don't mean in a motivational video way. I mean they do opposite things to who you think you are. Guilt is the feeling when your actions don't match who you say you are. Pride is the feeling when they do. And pride has nothing to do with achievement, not a six-figure channel or a marathon. It's the quiet, private feeling of doing the thing you said you were going to do, especially when it's small. You said you'd write today, so you wrote. Phone went in the other room. You actually left it there. You were present at dinner for once. That's it. That's the whole thing. That feeling, you're not getting it from scrolling. You already know this. You felt the difference between an hour on your phone and an hour doing something actually real. The heaviness after one, the aliveness after the other. The goal isn't to fix your phone addiction. That's too clinical, too easy to hand off to some productivity or a habit tracking app. The goal is to be someone who picks pride over guilt more often. Not perfectly, not starting tomorrow, just more often than yesterday. I want to tell you something about how this video got made. Before I started writing the script, I had to force myself to close every tab on my PC I had open. Turn off notifications, take my phone and put it in a different room so I couldn't even see it. Then I sat there, alone, with just a blank Notion doc and made myself write something. And I'm not telling you that because I'm some productivity monk who has it figured out. I'm telling you this because even while writing a video about phone addiction, specifically about this, I felt the urge to get my phone. Multiple times. The urge to just quickly check something, just to see if anything interesting has happened. The parasite doesn't take days off. But here's what happened when I stayed with a blank Notion doc. Slowly progress came. Not immediately or comfortably. It took a while to get started. But once I did, I forgot my phone existed. An hour passed and I hadn't thought about it once. And when I finished, I felt something I genuinely haven't felt after scrolling ever. I felt like I'd actually done something meaningful. Not something impressive, not something anyone else would necessarily care about. Just something that came from me, that didn't exist before, and now it did. Something that was created by me, that quiet, private feeling. That's the pride I was talking about. And I think that's the thing the phone is stealing from you more than anything else. Not time, not productivity, but your creativity. The part of you that makes things, thinks things, notices things. The part that used to get bored and instead of scrolling while looking for some quick distraction, would daydream or build something or call someone or just sit outside and watch the street. That part doesn't disappear. It just goes quiet when there's always something louder competing for its attention. Give it half an hour of silence and it comes back every time. The real reason I'm telling you this is because what helped me wasn't a rule or a timer or an app that limits your screen time. It was finding something to do that genuinely made the phone feel irrelevant. When you're actually inside something you find fulfilling, actually making something, actually present in something important, the phone stops screaming. You just don't feel the urge to reach for it. I said at the start I wasn't going to give you a system, but I want to say something about what smart actually means. Because I think most people who watch this kind of content, myself included, for years have confused consuming information with being smart, confused knowing with doing. The definition I keep coming back to is simple. A smart person knows what they want, knows how to get it, and actually does it. All three parts. Most people have two. Most know what they want, many know how to get there. The third part is where it falls apart every time. I'm not saying this to shame you, I'm saying it because you are smart. You are here. You are present in this moment. You've known for a long time that something is wrong. You know what a better version of your life looks like. You just haven't done the third part yet. And the thing I want you to sit with, the thing that really gets me, is that the third part doesn't need more information. You have the information. It doesn't need the right system. Systems don't close the gap. The only thing that closes it is a single moment where you quietly decide that you're done watching your own life happen from behind a screen. That moment might actually be right now. Or it might be tonight, or tomorrow morning, the second you reach for your phone before you even get out of bed. Whenever it comes, that moment matters more than anything I've said in this video. Everything I've talked about, the guilt, the gap, the quiet disappointment, the moments that slip past, it all comes back to the same thing. You're spending your life looking at a screen. The life you actually want is on the other side of it. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Not tomorrow, not after 3 more videos, but when this video ends. Close YouTube. Go do something that makes you feel proud. Something small is fine. Go outside for 10 minutes. Play with your dog. Call someone you've been wanting to call for days. Read the first page of a book that's been sitting on your shelf collecting dust for 2 months. Put your phone in another room and just sit for a while, staring at a blank wall. Not because someone told you to, but because underneath all the scrolling and the noise and the self-improvement content you've consumed, without acting on it, there's a version of you who already knows exactly who he is and what he wants. He's been quiet for a while. Give him a minute.